Today on Jacksonville Inside and Out, we're here with Tami Lee. Welcome to Jacksonville Inside and Out. We're here with Tami Lee, aka Tami Lee.
Thank you.
Tamika sounds nicer.
It's okay. I get that a lot. It's cool.
But you are a director.
Yes.
You are a writer.
Yes, I am.
And you are an actress at times.
Actress at times, yes.
So
yeah.
about the same resume as mine as
Okay.
far as roles.
Definitely.
So what brought you to Jacksonville? How did your life journey end up in this city?
I was born in Bronx, New York, and my parents, my dad's Jamaican, so he decided to move us to Jamaica. I don't remember when.
And that's the island,
Not Jamaica, Queens. Yeah, the actual island. My dad's family is from Mandeville, Jamaica, and we lived there until about 90, 92, 93, you know, and then we moved to Jacksonville. My mom's family is here in Jacksonville. So my mom looks at us and says, the plan is to stay for only like a year or two. And I've been here ever since. I traveled back to Jamaica back and forth as a kid. I went to Jamaica a lot, more than I went to New York, actually. I know Jamaica better. But like my dad makes sure that we were culturally aware of our cultural black background. So we went to Jamaica a ton of times, but we always, my home base ever since 93, 92 has been here.
So Jacksonville has been the place that a lot of people say they came here, they only came here to be temporary.
Yeah.
And then just never left.
Yeah, that's what happened to.
Yeah, I had that same thing where I came here for the Navy and never expected to stay here.
It happens. Jacksonville has that sort of way on people. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. About
Me
this.
either. I'd like to, find out. But
So how old were you when you came here from Jamaica?
Let's see. The first school I went to was Justina Elementary School. So maybe I was in like the 3rd or 4th grade, I think. That's when I first came here to Jacksonville.
And what was that like? What was the cultural differences?
It was different because I got picked on it as a kid a lot. When I was in Jamaica, I was the American kid, and then when I came to America, Jacksonville, I was a Jamaican kid. So I got picked on a lot. The way I was taught was different. I got taught by nuns in Jamaica. Came here, wasn't being taught by nuns. I got rulered if I got an answer wrong. That wasn't the case when I came here. And the learning environment was very different. They put us in speech classes because we had an accent, but we spoke better than the teachers, so they took us out of speech class. But they really didn't know what to do with me and my sister when we first came here. So the first maybe couple of years was a little rough adjusting to the kids and the teachers and the school versus Jamaica Catholic school. So yeah.
And what's Catholic school? What's Catholic school like compared to public school?
I was really young when I went to Catholic school, but I just remember getting the ruler a lot and praying a lot, and yeah, that's it. And being out playing, but like I always got paddled for something, getting an answer wrong, talking in class, but I was always in trouble.
So I went to an evangelical school for 4th grade, and I got the paddle a lot there.
Yeah, I always got.
Like you ask too many questions in a religious school, and it's just like, oh, we gotta.
Especially that type of environment, and I think that might like early '90s, but like most of my teachers were nuns. I had one teacher named Miss Pennant, tall black lady with a jerry curl, but she always had a ruler in her hand, and she was always giving that ruler to me. So yeah, it was. That's what I remember about Catholic school: praying and
getting
rulers.
hit.
Yeah, pretty much. So.
Getting beat up by the teachers. And,
that's what I remember.
That's what I remember about religious school.
Yeah, pretty much.
Evangelical. So what about the level of education?
Wow, it was so different. Like I tell friends all the time. I remember like the age that I should have been here. Like I think in kindergarten in America, you color, you paint, you go to recess. In Jamaica around that age, I was learning my timetables, and I better know them or I get a paddle. I was learning math, more English stuff.
I think kindergarten is when they really start in on the alphabet. That's like your main thing.
Yeah, but I think when I moved here to Jacksonville, I think I was my sister and I were a little bit more advanced than the other kids for sure. But just because they call Jamaica third world. I don't like to refer to Jamaica in that terms because I like I said, Jamaica is like another home to me. But for the level of education, I felt like it was much higher. The quality, I felt like teachers cared more. They made sure you understood, you were aware of what was going on. So yeah, I felt like there was more care. And I mean, like, I feel like when your parents pay for your education, because my education was paid for in Jamaica, then I would transfer to public school,
Right.
where it wasn't as, people didn't care as much. So maybe that played into it as well.
Well, I don't know, because I went to public school in Los Angeles and New York and Virginia. And the differences between LA and New York were pretty big, but
Yeah.
they were at least I wasn't like behind really on what I was supposed to be doing. I think ironically I missed out. I can't write cursive to this day because that year that you're supposed to learn it in California, I was taken out of public school and into a private evangelical school, and so I missed the time frame.
Yeah.
And then I went back to public school and I was supposed to already know it. And it was just one of those weird things. But going from New York to Virginia was like being left back 3 grades. And so you're just bored and you don't do any of the work. And
I can definitely relate to that because when I moved here, like I said, I was a little bit more advanced than the kids, and maybe I have ADD, ADHD, but my attention, if I'm bored, my attention span is just all over the place. So
I think that's true of any child, though.
Yeah, but
if you're not stimulating them at all.
Yeah, they just go to another place. And by the time that you're actually teaching something that they don't know, it's too late because like
You've
you lost them. Yeah. So I don't think at that time, and you know, you can attest to that too, in our time when we were kids, people weren't paying attention to those things like, hey, you know, not everybody learns the same, everybody learns differently. But yeah.
Okay. Well, aside from education, what other cultural differences, like the neighborhoods and the people that you were hanging around with, and how did that change?
I mean, in Mandeville and Jacksonville, I felt like everybody was equally friendly. Jacksonville was a little bit more friendly because I remember when we first came here, strangers would say hi, hello, and I'd be like, I don't know you. You know, that took a little getting used to.
Right.
But in some ways, people in Jamaica did that too. You know, we went to an open market to get food sometimes, and you know, driving on the left side versus the right side of the road, steering wheel being in a different place.
So that was like an English colony, Jamaica.
Yeah,
okay.
Jamaica was an English colony.
All right.
But it was definitely just little things that were different. Quick story, my grandma.
Let's save that till
Okay,
after
cool.
break. We'll be right back with more Jacksonville Inside and Out. Welcome back to Jacksonville Inside and Out. We're here with Tami Lee, aka Tamika Lee.
Hello, everyone. Yeah.
Okay, and you were going to tell us a story.
Oh yeah, one of the differences was it's really quick. My grandmother, we were little kids, and I was driving around my grandmother, and she looked at my sister and she said, "Baby, crack the window." And we had never heard that expression before. And my sister was like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yes, baby, crack the window, crack the window." So my sister like softly hits the window, and my grandmother just burst out laughing because we had never heard that. Usually like where we're from, you tell people to open the window. We had never heard crack the window. So it was just little things like that. We had to learn how to say yes ma'am, no ma'am. It was it was a cultural shock. It was such a shock, I think, at times that now that I'm older I forget, but I think I remember being a little kid and just learning how to readjust to how the kids talk. Like people would say, you know, we lived on the east side of, you know, Main and 21st Street or whatever, and you would hear kids say stuff like screet, strawberry, y'all, finna, and we'd be like, what? Like, you know.
Actually, half of that I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, like, but for where I was at the time, that was big because I didn't talk like that, and they thought I was funny because I didn't talk like them. So that was it was really just a big change for me. But, you know, as I got older, I learned to adjust and, things like that.
There was a little change going from New York to Virginia. It took me a while, took me decades to figure out what a grit was.
Oh, okay.
But
grits aren't that bad. They taste pretty good. Yeah,
they're okay.
Yeah.
But So you are working on a film right now.
Yes, I'm working on a film with Chad Hendricks and Sozo Jackson called Me and Mrs. Jones. The film is basically, in a nutshell, it's basically about a man that had a beautiful relationship with a married woman. They had to sever ties because she was married. A few years later, he decides to go on a road trip to go find her and confess his love. And on top of this journey, he has personal issues that he's dealing with, and his ego is haunting him. His ego just happens to be a puppet. So
Right.
yeah. So that's the movie.
Because Chad loves putting puppets in things.
Oh yeah. So Chad Hendricks wrote the script. It's a great script. Sozo Jackson is our DP, and of course I'm the director. And it's just like the Three Musketeers right now. So we're shooting this feature film. It's my first feature, so it's fun. It's challenging. It gets stressful, but what film project isn't? I mean, it's fun. I'm enjoying myself making it. I have my moments, but yeah, Chad will tell you. But it works for him when he's in those sad moods. If I'm not in the best of moods, it put him in the right mood. And I'm like, I could be a little nicer to him, but no, I'll just let it let it continue so he could go on and do his thing. And he's the writer and the actor of it. And he's doing a fantastic job. So
Right. And what's it like working with, because I'm guessing that like me, you've probably done more work with things that you've written yourself.
yeah, I'm an AI kid. I graduated from AI last year. So,
AI is
Art Institute of Jacksonville. Yeah. So
I've never heard of it, but okay.
You never heard of it?
No,
Okay. So it's on Bay Meadows near Florida Coastal Law School.
Okay.
I was right over there on Bay Meadows. But I went there for 3 years, and I wasn't a film person at all. I originally just wanted to be a writer and a poet, and I tell people I got suckered into going to AI because they were like, do you want to do photography or film? Hey, do you like to write? They have writing classes in the film program here at AI. I only took 2 writing classes, but luckily enough, being introduced to film, I liked it, and I saw where it fit for me as a writer, because I'm like, wow, I could write stuff and like put it on camera and show people my stories. It worked out great.
And actors become like your little puppets.
Yeah, so it was a really cool experience. But I'm used to, normally, like, I would write something, or my classmates would ask me to write something, and we'd film it, or at least try to film it.
Right.
And it's very different using someone else's script, but it's a great experience. I definitely want to get used to not just directing and helping produce my own projects.
Directors tend to change a lot. I notice when I work with a script, especially my own, during the course of the filming, we end up changing a lot of things. And I feel very comfortable doing that because I wrote it.
Yeah.
But when it's someone else's work.
Yeah, it is a little hard. I've noticed that because Chad has tried to film Me and Mrs. Jones before. He's tried to make attempts to film certain things. And I noticed that since I'm the director, it's a little bit more, it was funnier when he did it. Now it's a little bit more darker.
Right.
With my directing it. Like, I definitely don't want to stray from the story, but I felt like when he was acting and he wrote it, the first time he did it, he was a little bit more goofy, and now I'm forcing him to be a lot more serious.
So you're taking what is a serious story and forcing the actor and the writer to be more serious with the material.
This is why I took on the project, because like I'm a woman that, I've had I made a lot of bad choices in relationships. So I for a while I had my view on men. Oh, when you break up with a guy, he's not emotional. He doesn't care. He's probably banging the next chick, moving on, So I meet Chad, and he gives me the script, and I read it, and I'm like, wow, men really do go through this, and he's going over this over a married chick. So this is great. Like, men have feelings. I got crapped on for saying that on camera, that men had feelings. Yes, I admit it. Like, if I didn't think that men had feelings, of course I wouldn't do the project. I didn't mean it in that sense. I just, when I read the script, it was just like, wow, okay, this is actually.
You just didn't realize that men go through the same thing that
women
do.
I really didn't. My dad's Jamaican. He's a Rastafarian, and he's sensitive to his children, but I've never seen him be emotional.
Men are taught from a young age.
Yeah.
Hide their feelings.
Exactly. And to see somebody be so open with it, I was like, this is a great film. But I was watching his footage, and I'm like, the way he's portraying it, it's not a big deal, but I'm like, it's such a big deal. Like, I feel like women and men need to see stuff like this, because
But it is it is a big deal. And I don't really know anything about the script, but from what you're saying, that emotional stuff that happens with men, that is a big deal.
Yeah, and a lot of women don't know.
But we tend to go through that alone.
Yeah. So I just thought that just to be a female director on a project like this, I was like, this is gold. I have to do this. I just love the storyline, and like I said, I'm not used to men showing their sensitive side that way. So I thought it was great. So when I read the script and I was like, okay, I'm on board, I'll do this. But like when I said that, I did the GoFundMe video and I was like, wow, men have feelings. Every time I see a dude, they're like, yes, men have feelings. And I'm like, whoa, okay. Don't get to
Yeah, well, we do have feelings. And we have to take a break. We'll be right back with more of Tami Lee and Jacksonville Inside and Out. Welcome back to Jacksonville Inside and Out. We are here with Tami Lee, aka Tami Lee. I keep reversing that every time.
Yeah, but that's great, thanks.
No, I like the name Tamika. It's
yeah,
just
a lot of people like the name Tamika, but like I was telling you earlier, I Googled Tami Lee and like a ton of photographers and videographers came up. And I'm like, wow, Tamikas must really like cameras and photography and film. So I was like, how can I make myself different from all these Tami Lees? Because it really, like, it's crazy when you do it. You see a ton of Tami Lees, and they're either over an organization, own their own photography company, or they're in film. And most of them write, most of them DP. It's crazy. It's just too many.
See, when I hear Tami, I guess it's because of my time in Virginia Beach before I was in the Navy. When I hear Tami, I think blonde trailer trash.
I get that a lot. But actually, I had a friend in Jamaica that used to call me Tami, and I thought it was funny because I had never people call me Mika T. You know, like I had never heard anybody break my name down to, oh, hey Tami. He was the only person that ever called me Tami. So when I was thinking about changing my name to something else, I was like, oh, Tami Lee. And I think that Tami Lee, when people hear it, they're not gonna expect to see some black chick either. So I'm like, it works. It might work for me, you know. So I think I'm gonna stick to it because like there's way too many Tamikas that do what I do. So yeah.
If it differentiates, it differentiates.
Yeah, so.
I mean, my name starts with a K, so that's one of the things that, you know, being Christian. Well, no, not being Christian. I'm not Christian. My name is Christian.
Yeah.
It's so weird. But okay, so having the name Christian and having it start with a K is just, and it's something my mom did because she was hanging out with Norwegian people when she was pregnant.
Okay.
And apparently Norway, Sweden, Scandinavia in general, Chris and Christian, it's all with a K instead of a CH.
But yeah, it differentiates, sets you apart from the other Christians. Yeah.
Which I hated when I was in school. When I was in school, I just wanted to be like everybody else. Until I hit about 5th, 6th, 7th grade, somewhere in there, I stopped wanting to be like everyone else, and I appreciated having a name that was different from other people.
Yeah.
Even though, like, I got teased, like, because it started with a K, it was a girl's name. I got teased a lot when I was younger. But as once I embraced it and I owned it, like, all that kind of went away.
I hear you. Tamika is very common where I'm from, so yeah. It's a very common name. It's not until I meet people outside my community, they're like, oh, Tamika, that's an interesting name. That's lovely. And I'm like, really? You've never heard of that Tamika before? So yeah.
I've heard of it.
A lot of people don't realize that Tamika really is a common name. So.
Yeah. Well, okay. Growing up in New York and certain parts of California, because I've grown up in very diverse communities.
Definitely, yeah.
So, like, names of my friends in New York were like Euclides and Zulfikar.
Yeah.
And, so I mean, like those were normal names to me.
True. Yeah.
So, there's not nothing really strikes me as odd at this point when it comes to names. So, but it's different cultures.
Yeah, it really is. But yeah, Tamika is pretty common.
So tell me a little bit about your past work. What kind of you're doing a drama now. That was apparently written to be a sort of a comedy.
I mean, it definitely, like I said, like Chad was the actor in the first ones, and it had like a very comedic feel about it at some point. It was sad and it had its sad points, but I'm definitely focusing in on Chad being a little bit more serious. But my past work, I did a pilot episode as my senior thesis for film school called The Rose Order, and it was a crime drama. And it's basically about a group of women that start a crime organization in 2014, and it lasts all the way to 2057. and it was supposed to be a TV show, and we show the
Right.
evolution and the downfall of their gang
Their-
mafia. Yeah, so
Right.
I did the pilot episode. I'm still working on it. Gonna showcase it to family and friends, and possibly try to shop it around to some film festivals. But I've done the Rose Order. I've written a couple of scripts, did a couple of shorts in film school. But since I'm not a film student anymore, I've been getting a lot of opportunities. I help Yoanna House with her show Fashion Gone Local, and I'm
Right.
helping Chad with Me and Mrs. Jones, and still working on the Rose Order. And I have a web series that I'm working on. It's called The Misadventures of Toby Furlong. So
Toby Furlong.
Furlong. So
And what is that about?
it's basically about a guy and his odd adventures in the world. We started the idea in
Odd Adventures.
Odd Adventures. Basically, he has a beef with his college professor because he slept with his ex-wife years ago. So they're always bumping heads.
Wait,
And-
the college professor slept with his ex-wife, or he
No,
slept with the
he
college
He slept with the college professor's ex-wife.
ex-wife?
Yeah. So
Was it the ex-wife at the time? Or
no, it was the wife.
So it was total.
Yeah. So he has beef with his college professors, his girlfriends, his friends, and he makes poor decisions and great decisions, and it always has a consequence. So it's really slapstick and silly. I'm working on the first episode now, casting for it, and
Right.
taking it from there. But The Misadventures of Toby Furlong, it's just meant to be super silly and a banter between teacher and student and everyone else in his life. So yeah.
Okay, so you've done comedy and you've done drama.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I've done comedy almost exclusively. Wait.
Come over to the dark side.
No, I have
Christian.
done exclusively comedy, except in acting. I did something on stage, which was more of a drama, but my role in that was somewhat comedic. Like I was like almost like comedy relief, and I was like the bad guy that everybody's supposed to hate, sort of, because it was a play about, I guess, about gay rights in general, called Pink.
Oh, okay.
So, and I played the evangelical anti-gay preacher.
I
And it was
saw
just
some
like-
of it. I didn't get to finish it.
Yeah,
but
really loud, over the top. If you got the DVD was just, the sound on that was just incredibly hard to listen to.
I saw some of it at One Spark because they talked to the writer about it, but I didn't get to finish it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know they're gonna try to refilm it again.
Yeah, I know. I gave them my card because I told them, give me a budget and I'll
I hear that.
yeah, because,
Go for it.
and at least I'm somewhat familiar. And
With the storyline and
yeah.
everything, that's great. Yeah, I think it's a really great story and interesting story that people should hear. So
yeah, it was an interesting experience. It was kind of fun to do.
yeah,
But yeah, I would hope that I wouldn't have to be in it again because I lost my voice in every performance
I hear that.
because I was having to scream. All right, that's all the time we have for you today.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was wonderful having you
It
on.
was a pleasure being on. Thanks,
And
Christian.
people can send her money, not her personally,
Yeah,
but
our
me and
movie.
Mrs. Jones, if you want to see that film. And if you, the more money you send her, the better she
Yes.
can make it. And it's just the nature of business.
GoFundMe.com/me and Mrs. Jones. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. My website is TamiLee.net if you want to know more information about me. But yeah, Me and Mrs. Jones is the project. You're going to love the movie. GoFundMe /me and Mrs. Jones. Please check us out. Thank you.
Have a wonderful evening.
Bye, guys.